Alright, now listen up people. Welcome to the game that brings families together and sometimes tears them apart, but always in good fun. I'm talking about Spades. This ain't just some regular old card game. Oh no, this is a game of strategy, a game of trust, and a game of talking a little trash to your cousin across the table. It's the kind of game you play at the family reunion, the cookout, or on a rainy Sunday afternoon. What makes it so special, you ask? It's all about teamwork. You and your partner sitting across from each other, you gotta be in sync. You gotta be on the same page, even when you can't say a word. It's a beautiful thing. Spades is what we call a book-taking game. Now don't get scared by the fancy words. All that means is that in each round, everybody plays one card, and the best card wins the book. Your job, before the round even starts, is to guess how many of these tricks you and your partner are gonna win. That's called bidding. You gotta have a little faith in your hand, a little faith in your partner, and a whole lot of nerve. It's like Family Feud, see? You gotta guess the top answer, but here, you gotta predict the future. And let me tell you, when you and your partner nail that bid, it's a feeling like no other. The reason this game is perfect for your family is because it's easy to learn, but it takes a lifetime to master. The basics are simple. You follow the suit that's led, and if you can't, you can play a spade. Spades are always the trump card, the boss, the big kahuna. They beat everything else. That's where the name comes from, see? It's a simple rule, but it creates all kinds of drama and excitement. You'll learn to count cards, you'll learn to read your partner's plays, and you'll learn when to hold them and when to throw them down with authority. It's a game that teaches you a little something about life, so gather around the table, get your favorite snacks, put on some good music, and get ready to make some memories. This guide is going to walk you through everything step by step. We're going to cover it all, from dealing the cards to making those game-winning plays. I'm going to make sure that by the time we're done, you'll be ready to challenge anybody, from your grandma to your know-it-all uncle. Because Spades isn't just about winning tricks. It's about communication, it's about partnership. And most of all, it's about having a good time with the people you love. Now let's get this show on the road. First things first, you need 4 people. This is a partnership game, so you sit across from your partner. Think of it like a double date, but with more pressure. You got Team A and you got Team B. You'll need a standard 52-card deck. No jokers, no funny business. We keep it clean here. The person who's dealing shuffles those cards up real good. We don't want any shenanigans. Then, you deal them out, one card at a time, clockwise, until every single card is gone. That means each player gets exactly 13 cards. Look at your hand. This is your life for the next 10 minutes. Don't show it to nobody, not even your partner. Now comes the most important part of the whole setup, the bid. This is where you look at the 13 cards you were just dealt and you make a promise. You're telling the table, I think I can win this many tricks. A book, remember, is one round of 4 cards. You look for your good cards. How many aces do you have? How many kings? Those are your likely winners. But the most important thing you're looking for is spades. Spades or trump. They are the superheroes of this game. If you have a lot of high spades like the ace, king, or queen, you can feel confident about your bid. So, how do you decide your number? Let's say you're looking at your hand. You've got the ace of hearts, the king of diamonds, and maybe 3 spades, including the ace of spades. Well, that ace of hearts is probably gonna win you a book. The king of diamonds is a maybe, but it's a strong card. And that ace of spades, that's a guaranteed book right there. So you might say, I can take 3 tricks. That's your individual bid. You're not trying to be a hero, you're just being honest. You look at your hand, you count your sure things, and you make your call. The player to the left of the dealer starts the bidding, and it goes around the table. After everyone has made their individual bid, you combine it with your partner's. This is your team bid, or your contract. Let's say you bid 3, and your partner across the table bids 4. Together, your team contract is 7. That means that between the two of you, you have to win at least 7 tricks in this hand. The other team will have their own contract. If they bid 2 and 2, their contract is 4. Your goal is to meet or exceed your contract of 7. The other team's goal is to meet their contract of 4. And everybody's secondary goal is to stop the other team from making theirs. It's a beautiful, chaotic dance. Alright, the bids are in, the contracts are set, now it's time for the action. The person to the left of the dealer plays the very first card of the game. This is called leading. Now you can lead with any card in your hand, except a spade. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot lead with a spade on the first book unless you have absolutely nothing else in your hand but spades. This is a rule. It keeps things from getting too wild right at the start. So the first player puts down a card, let's say it's the 10 of clubs. This sets the suit for the book. The suit is now clubs. Now play moves to the left, clockwise around the table. The next player must play a card of the same suit if they have one. This is called following suit. So if the lead was a club, the next player has to play a club if they have one. They can play a higher club to try and win the book, or a lower club if they don't think they can win it. This continues all the way around the table. Everybody plays one club. The person who played the highest ranking club wins the book. They collect the 4 cards, put them face down in a little pile in front of them, and that's one book for their team. So, what happens if you don't have a card in the suit that was led? Let's go back to our example. The first player led with the 10 of clubs. The second player also played a club. Now it's the third player's turn, but they look at their hand and they ain't got no clubs, not a single one. Now they have a choice. They can either play a card from a different suit, like a diamond or a heart, which is called sloughing off. This card can't win the book. Or they can play a spade. If they play a spade, this is called cutting or trumping. The spade automatically beats any card of the original suit. The winner of the book gets to lead the next one. So if your team just won a book with the king of clubs, the player who threw that king now starts the next round. They can lead with any suit they want. And here's a big rule. Once a spade has been played in any previous book because someone couldn't follow suit, we say that spades are broken. After spades are broken, any player can now lead a book with a spade if they want to. This is usually when the game gets really intense, because now the big guns, the trump cards, are officially in play from the start of a book. You'll play all 13 tricks this way until everyone's hands are empty. Now we gotta talk about some important rules that can make or break your game. We touched on cutting, but let's make it crystal clear. Cutting is your secret weapon. Let's say the other team leads with the ace of diamonds. That's a powerful card, almost a guaranteed win for them. The next 2 players follow suit with smaller diamonds. Now it's your turn. You don't have any diamonds. This is your moment to shine. You can play any spade from your hand, even the lowly 2 of spades. That little 2 of spades will beat that big old ace of diamonds. You just cut their book and stole it for your team. It's a beautiful thing. Knowing when to cut is a strategy in itself. You don't want to waste your high spades on a book that your partner was already going to win. If your partner played the king of hearts and the opponents played a 3 and a 4 of hearts, you don't need to cut that. Your partner's got it locked down. Save your spade for when you really need it, like stopping the other team from taking a book that you and your partner can't win otherwise. Wasting a good spade is like using your best joke on somebody who ain't even listening. It's just a shame, that's what it is. Now let's talk about a very serious crime in the world of spades. It's called reneging. Some people call it revoking. It's when you don't follow suit when you could have. Let's say the lead card is a heart. You have a heart in your hand, but you decide to play a spade instead to win the book. That is illegal. That's a renege. You must follow suit if you are able. If another player catches you, and believe me, they'll be watching, there's a penalty. Usually the penalty is that 3 tricks are taken from your team and given to the team that caught you. That can absolutely destroy your contract. So how do you avoid this? Pay attention. It's that simple. Always double check your hand before you play a card from a different suit. Make sure you are truly out of the suit that was led. A renege is almost always a costly mistake, and it can turn your partner against you real quick. It's the #1 way to end up sleeping on the couch. The game is about skill and partnership, not about breaking the rules to get ahead. Play it straight, play it honest, and you'll earn the respect of the table, even when you lose. And trust me, you don't want to be known as the family reneger. This whole game comes down to one thing: partnership. You and the person sitting across from you are a team. You win together, you lose together. You can't talk about what's in your hand. You can't say, "Hey, lead a diamond, I've got the ace." That's cheating. All your communication has to happen through the cards you play. It's like a secret language. You have to learn to read your partner's plays and send them signals with your own. It's a beautiful silent conversation happening right there on the table for everyone to see, but only you two understand. Let's talk about bidding as a team. When you make your bid, you're not just thinking about your own hand. You're trying to give your partner information. If you have a very weak hand, maybe with only 1 likely book, you might bid 1. This tells your partner, "Don't count on me for much help. I'm holding a whole lot of nothing over here." But if your partner then bids 5, you know they have a monster hand, and they're counting on your 1 book to help them reach a big contract. Your bids are the foundation of your strategy for the entire hand. During the game, pay attention to what your partner is throwing away. If you lead with the ace of clubs and your partner throws away the two of hearts, that's a signal. It might mean they have no more hearts, so leading hearts later might force opponents to use their spades. Or, if your partner plays a high card in a suit, like the Queen of Diamonds, on a book you were already winning, they might be telling you, "I don't have the king, get it out of the opponent's hand." You have to be a detective, constantly looking for clues in the cards your partner chooses to play. A classic team play is trying to establish a suit. Let's say your partner leads with the ace of hearts, then the king of hearts. They are trying to get all the other hearts out of everyone else's hands. If you are also out of hearts and you have a lot of spades, you can help them. Once all the hearts are gone, your partner can keep playing their smaller hearts, and if anyone tries to cut with a spade, you can come in over the top with a bigger spade to protect your partner's book. This is advanced stuff, but it's where the real beauty of spades comes alive. It's a symphony of teamwork. Alright, let's turn up the heat a little bit. Sometimes you're feeling lucky. Sometimes you're behind in the score, and you need to do something drastic. This is where a blind bid comes in. A blind bid is exactly what it sounds like. It's a bid you make before you look at your cards. This is not for the faint of heart, I'm telling you. A player can only declare a blind bid if their team is behind by at least 100 points. It's a comeback mechanic. The player announces they're going blind and bids a certain number, usually 6 or 7 tricks. After making the blind bid, the player then picks up their cards and plays the hand normally with their partner. The partner does not bid blind. They bid normally after seeing their own hand. If the team successfully makes their contract, they get a huge bonus. A successful blind 6 bid is worth 120 points instead of the usual 60. A blind 7 is worth 140 points, but if you fail, you lose that many points. It's a massive risk. You might pick up your hand and see nothing but low cards and a prayer. It's a high-stakes gamble that can win you the game or bury you completely. Now let's talk about the granddaddy of all spades achievements. It's called a Boston. A Boston is when one team wins all 13 tricks in a single hand. Every single one. This is the Mount Everest of spades. To do this, your team has to bid for all 13 tricks. This usually happens when one player has an unbelievable hand, and their partner bids nil, 0 tricks, or when both partners have incredibly strong hands and they combine for a bid of 13. Pulling this off is legendary. It is something people will talk about at family gatherings for years to come. Winning a Boston is not just about having good cards. It takes perfect play from both you and your partner. Every single card has to be played in the right order. You have to expertly strip the other suits and use your spades to control the entire flow of the game. If you successfully bid and win a Boston, you get 200 points, which often is enough to win the entire game on the spot. But if you bid for 13 tricks and you only get 12, you lose 130 points. It is the ultimate all-or-nothing play. It's the stuff of legends, a true spectacle at the card table. So, how do you actually win this thing? The game is usually played to 500 points. The first team to reach 500 points at the end of a hand is declared the winner. Let's break down the scoring. If your team makes its contract, you get 10 points for every book you bid, plus 1 point for every book you won over your bid. So, if you bid 7 and you won 9 tricks, you get 70 points for the bid, plus 2 points for the over tricks or bags. That's 72 points for that hand. Sounds good, right? But be careful with those bags. Those little over tricks, those bags, can get you in trouble. For every 10 bags your team accumulates throughout the game, you get a 100-point penalty. That's right, they punish you for being too good. This rule is in place to make the bidding more accurate. You can't just bid low every time to be safe. You have to be precise. If your team has 8 bags, and you're about to take 2 over tricks on the current hand, you need to find a way to slough off or lose those tricks on purpose, so you don't hit 10 bags and take that huge penalty. It adds a whole other layer of strategy to the game. If you fail to make your contract, you get nothing but shame, and a negative score. If your team bids 7 but you only win 6 tricks, you lose 70 points. You get a big fat minus 70 for that round. This is called getting set or euchred, and it's a painful feeling. This is why teamwork in bidding is so important. It's often better to bid a conservative 5 and make it, than to stretch for a bid of 7 and fail. The key to winning is consistent, steady scoring and avoiding those big negative hands at all costs. So, to wrap it all up, talk with your cards, trust your partner, bid smart, not just big, know when to use your spades and when to save them. Try to remember what high cards have already been played. Don't be afraid to take a risk when you're behind, but play it safe when you have the lead. And most importantly, have fun. Spades is a game, And games are meant to bring joy and laughter, so shuffle up, deal them out, and may the best team win. Now you know the rules. Go make your family proud.